Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. This is a daily inspirational show for those of us who are fighting in this political revolution in order to transform our government into one for the people. Please like and share, invite your friends. We need to get this out to as many people as we can, and we have to be the media. So any interaction in the show helps us do better in Facebook's little algorithm. So even if you're here later on, still comment. It helps us get out to more people, and I love reading your comments. So you're doing something for me at the same time. See what I mean? Giving back. You're helping a lonely person have something to read all day, and showing me that people actually watch this show. I like knowing that this message gets out. And the main message that I'm trying to get out each day on this show is that this is our fight. I believe that's the most important part of Bernie's message. We have got to own this. That is the key to victory here. The more of us that own this fight completely, the better. A lot of people don't want to do that. They shy away from it. They don't even like when I say that this is our job. They're like, this isn't my fault. I didn't cause this, so it can't be my responsibility. They like to say that this is much bigger than them. The system is just too powerful, too corrupt. It can't be done. The weight of it all is just too heavy. You see, they want to feel like this is impossible, so they don't have to fight to fix it. They can stop and go back to worrying only about their own little bubble without feeling guilty about quitting. We've got to stop with that thinking. That is dead end thinking. Fact is, this is 100% our fight. This is our problem. 100%. When something is broken, it doesn't matter whose fault it is that it's broken, now does it? If it's your responsibility to fix it, you've got to fix it. No one else is going to do it for you. You know, things are bad. Mostly everyone sees that. This greed that controls our society is crippling us and destroying our planet. And I think most people should be able to see that too. And it won't stop on its own. And it has got to stop. So if we don't end it, who will? Who do these people think is coming to save the day? No hero is coming to save us. We have got to do this. This is our fight. And that is why I stress that point so hard. We've got to own this, all of it. We have to take ownership and responsibility for all of what is going on around us, the good and the bad. You see, evil doesn't prosper because evil is just so damn strong. Evil prospers because good people stay silent and don't get involved. These monsters and predators, these leeches on society, they will never quit taking as much as we allow them to take, as long as we tolerate it. The laws don't apply to them. They carry on as if they don't have a care in the world. They need to be terrified. They should be afraid of us. A fraction of 1% controls 99% of the resources on this planet. A handful of people are crippling society and destroying this planet. And they have names and addresses. We know who they are. Think about the audacity of it all for just a second. They sit in their towers high above us regular folk and feel entitled to all that they see, never fearing any kind of repercussions for the damage caused by their insatiable greed. They think they own us. They think of us as less than human. They think that we're the problem, that there's too many of us. It's not their greed, and they'll never stop on their own. We have to stop them. We have to put an end to this greed. And what is happening right now is how that is done. Millions of people are rising up together right now in this country to fight back and put an end to this greed and corruption. We're coming to take the reins and correct course before their greed destroys us all. We can do this. We can win. We can create real massive change and progress. All we have to do is all that we can. Now, I include a link in the description of every Daily Bern to BernieSanders.com. Please go there and see if there's any way that you can help out the campaign by becoming one of the more than 2 million of us that are volunteering and working to get Bernie elected, or donate if you can. It's insanely and disgustingly expensive to run for president. So donate any amount if you can to help out. We are completely publicly funded. Bernie does not take big money, and it's all small donations. $18 average a piece right now, $24 million. We're doing very well. Donate if you can. A lot of the little goals we have to hit right now are about individual contributions. So even $3, that's great. And while you're there, while you're at berniesanders.com, get a bumper sticker and put a bumper sticker on your car. They're really good, high quality bumper stickers. For one, they're not the cheap paper kind that are going to be a pain in the ass to remove. They're the good vinyl, I believe vinyl. Anyways, like the stronger, more durable, and more flexible material. They're good bumper stickers, union made, high quality, just like everything else in the Bernie campaign. Get you one and put that bad boy on your car. And then you are promoting the campaign and showing your support everywhere you go just by driving around like normal. And the campaign's asking for people to do that, but I am also making it a homework assignment for everybody that watches these shows. But whatever you do, never quit fighting. Now that you are standing, never back down. Hold your ground. Stay strong. Know that you are on the right path, and what you are a part of is what will bring change to our society and hope to our futures. It's happening right now. We are crushing it, and I am very proud to see that this is happening. I never thought I'd see this, ever. That's why I have to devote myself to it. That's why I never feel like I've done enough in this fight. So I owe it to my children to fight as hard as I can during this golden opportunity to make as much change and progress as possible to improve the world we are leaving to our future generations. So right now, they stand to inherit nothing but tragedy and hardship. We are destroying their planet, literally. Now, they deserve a better future. We deserve a better life, and we can have it. But we're going to have to put in the work. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a long fight. This goes way past electing Bernie Sanders president. But we stay fighting. We keep pushing. We have got to think like warriors. We are going to demand this. We are not here to bargain. We are not looking to negotiate, and there is no middle ground. We're coming to take this. We're going to own this and move forward united. And we're never going to quit. We're never going to stop. And we're going to win. We're going to stop playing the victim. Realize our true power is in our numbers. And when we stand united and demand change, we can get it. We are powerful. We can do this. We are doing this. And we are going to win this fight. Not Bernie, us. Thanks for coming back to the Daily Bern. That was my monologue for today. If you're here, please comment. I would love for you to take part in the conversation. I am here watching the live premiere, but even if you're here later on, still comment. I love reading them, and I want this to be an ongoing discussion. I want this to be a place where we gather and inspire each other and share inspirational stories or share struggles. Come here if you need to be inspired. If you're having difficulty in the fight, come here and find inspiration or, reach out and be inspired by some of the warriors that are watching this show and fighting every day in this fight. But real quick, we're going to get into the segments of the show. One of the segments that I've introduced now that we're pre-recording these is comments from yesterday, where I go through any comments that are noteworthy that didn't really get mentioned during the show and didn't get addressed during the show. I try to address them here in this scenario. And I'm laughing because the first one I'm looking at, I'm going to save it for last, but it's funny. We had a troll at yesterday's premiere, and I let them stay a bit. And I was told later that I should have blocked them sooner. I did block them, but I let them stay a bit because I don't like to be in an echo chamber. And I like to open myself up, and I don't shy away from those kind of confrontations. But do y'all think I should block them right away or let them stew a little? Because like I said, I don't mind it, and I'm never going to change anyone's mind by being afraid of confrontation. I understand that when I do something like this, that there is all kinds of people that will push back and fight against this message. You know, j- people don't want to own this. They don't want to do this. This is hard. It's a pain in the butt. You do it every day and you got to keep doing it and you got to stay vigilant. You got to keep paying attention. I got other shit to do. There's stuff on TV. There's other things I want to do. They don't want to do it. It's hard. But, you know, I want to change their mind. I want to show them that we're being given a golden opportunity here and that we need to do all we can and come together and we can win. And I'm going to do all I can to spread that message. But I just don't know sometimes how to handle these trolls. Because one time I had one during a live and I was handling him quite well, but I noticed it was really upsetting some people. So, how do y'all feel about that? Do you block a troll right away or do you let them stew and try to change their mind and change their views? Or at least combat what they're saying? Kyle was here yesterday and he asked why so many burners are being Facebook jailed for sharing Bernie stuff. I have noticed that myself. I am part of, I don't know, so many groups I can't even count on Facebook, but I'm actively involved in about four or five. I have a couple pages of my own. I share all the time, is the point of this story. And I've never been Facebook jailed except for sharing Bernie stuff. This particular show, for example, I got Facebook jailed for sharing. And, I've noticed a lot of people talking about this, and it is weird. But as we said, Facebook has their little algorithm, but they have other ways of controlling the narrative as well. You know, um, we do have an excellent platform in social media and an excellent opportunity to be able to talk to and involve millions of people that we wouldn't have had access to before, but it is heavily monitored and heavily censored. And we better take full advantage of it while we still have some scraps left of it. But we do have to fight through the suppression. They are suppressing this message, and Facebook and social media is a big part of media, and they know that. They understand that, and they use whatever power they have to control the narrative that gets out on their site, at least how many people see it. So you have to do all that you can if you want to share things like this and get it out as much as you can. We have to just fight that much harder to rise above their bullshit. But and that's unfortunate. But yeah, a lot of burners are being Facebook jailed for sharing Bernie's message and sharing Bernie things and stuff like that. And I've also noticed people being jailed for talking about Epstein, the Jeffrey Epstein arrest, which is huge news that's being ignored. We'll touch on that in a little bit in Know Your Enemy, I'm sure. I'm going to do Know Your Enemy a little bit different today, and we'll get to that in a minute. But Royce was here, and Royce said that we are last in so many categories and last to offer things like a living wage and health care for all to our people because we are the hub of the 1% and we allow their greed. Now, that's why I stress that on every episode. We allow this. We fell asleep at the wheel. We didn't stay on top of things, and greed got out of control. And the only thing that's going to rein it back in is for us to take responsibility and ownership of that and do the work and make the change. That's all that's going to do it. Now, this last comment is the one that I thought was making me laugh at first. It's the first one I wrote down because it's the first one I saw today. Because I have started uploading these to YouTube too to get them out to more people. And even though it's not in line with my regular YouTube content, the YouTube channel used to be pretty much primarily for my conspiracy theory show. Some of you know I host a conspiracy theory show. And good news for any fans of that. There is a new episode coming up. I'm working on it right now. I don't know exactly when it'll air, but we'll have a new episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill soon. But this was actually a comment over on YouTube, but the person said, "Show more content and less of your ugly face." I thought that I'm barely on the screen. I thought that was I thought I had myself minimized enough. I thought Bernie was the main focus of this show, but I just thought that was funny. People can be very negative. And when you do things like this, you run into stuff like that all the time. And eventually it just starts making you laugh. The next segment on the show that we do every day is Bernie events. We like to update you on what Bernie's up to. But if you want to stay informed on the campaign, There are a couple great ways to do that. One is to get the Bern app. There is a mobile app for the Bernie campaign called the Bern app, and you can go to your Google Play Store or Apple Store, wherever you go, to get apps for your phone and download the Bern app, and that will keep you plugged into the campaign and keep you up to date with what's going on. Or you can text. Down here below my pretty face is the number that you can text to. You text Bernie to 67760, and then volunteers like me who do the texting will text out event information and things like that when it's relevant to you and your areas, and news about the campaign, etc. So there's a couple great ways to stay involved and stay informed with the campaign and the revolution. But as far as campaign events go, the campaign is focusing right now on opening campaign offices. Bernie was recently talking, and he said that support has been so dramatic and so large, then it was even bigger than they imagined it would be, that they weren't ready, and they're trying to refocus on these campaign offices and get them rolled out faster and get more of them open sooner than they had originally even planned. That the support has been surging so dramatically, they have to increase focus in this area. And the campaign themselves, Bernie and them, will be heading back to Iowa this Saturday and Sunday for 8 events, including opening 2 new campaign offices in Iowa, which is one of the biggest, well, the first in a very big primary state. And I think that makes 5 offices open there now. And I don't know how many activists are working in the field. 45 staffers are currently working in New Hampshire, and we've opened 6 offices there just this last week, I believe. And another cool thing from Bernie is his anti-endorsement list. He released a list of, I think, 12 different billionaires and people that he does not want endorsements or support from. And it's a good list. It's a good list to find out your common enemies. And these are all people that are enemies of humanity, honestly, this whole list. Go check that out. That's funny. I think it's cool that he released that. Now we're going to do Know Your Enemy. And the thing that we're going to do differently is I am going to look through these sites right now. Usually I do this before the feed, and then I bum myself out, and then I have to spend some time listening to music or inspirational videos to pump myself up back again to do this feed, because I don't like to be a downer on this show, and the news is depressing. So let's start here. We're going to start with Fox. I used to go through 10 sites a day for Know Your Enemy. Now I go through 3. Today I picked Fox, CNN, and USA Today. So right away, let's see what I'm noticing. First off, on Fox, very first thing when you scroll down is a huge picture of Trump, and they always show flattering pictures of Trump on Fox. They're very pro-Trump over on Fox. Now, as I scroll down a little further, 2 stories featuring Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I never say her name right. I'm never going to. But AOC, I'll refer to her as AOC from now on. 2 stories. She's on here twice now already. Fox, another one. Fox could do a whole segment on AOC. They could, CNN, and I'll get to them in a minute, they have a section called 45 that's all about President Trump. Fox could do that with AOC. They cover her an unbelievably amount. There's another one. I'm telling you, seriously, this is what, 5 stories on the front page. Another one. Oh, that one's a video. Can't really count it. It might be part of another story, but really 6 headlines on their front page on Fox on AOC. And in one of them, Bernie's in there, because apparently Bernie weighed in on this feud between AOC and Nancy Pelosi, which is ridiculous because Nancy Pelosi has shit all over. Sorry, I try not to cuss on these, but she has crapped all over everything AOC and her squad have tried to do since they've come into office. And the reason for it, AOC accused her of being racist, but that's not it. The reason is she's progressive. That's why they're against her. That's why they're trying to silence them. The squad or whatever, it's because they're progressive and they have progressive ideals. These people are bought and paid for. Nancy Pelosi did not become rich by working for the people. She became rich for working for public interest. But other than that, they're not talking about much on Fox. Other than that one mention in that blurb about the feud between Pelosi and AOC, there's no mention of Sanders, nothing Sanders at all. A lot of Trump. Another AOC story. I went all the way to the bottom. There's another one. It's ridiculous. Fox loves AOC. All right, now moving on. We're going to head to CNN now. So now we're over on CNN, and CNN, I've noticed since doing these, I've never paid this much attention to the mainstream media. I've noticed that CNN is the heaviest contributor of Trump fear porn. They push Trump fear endlessly on CNN. As I said, they have their own section called 45. It's all about Trump. But when you scroll through their page, everything is a negative story about Trump. Like they have the squad, and they're talking about how Trump is racist. Um, they're still pushing the ICE raids and blaming the conditions at the border and these detention centers on Trump. When yes, he's responsible for it because he's president right now. But we need to realize that this is just being reported on now. This is not new. This all went on before. They are painting a boogeyman. I am not, again, not in support of Trump, not in support of detention centers. I'm just saying they existed already. Be outraged. Never lose your sense of outrage. Be mad. But don't allow yourself to be misled, is what I'm saying. Don't allow yourself to be misdirected. They brought it up during the debates. Obama deported, what was it, 2 million something people. I'm going to mess up. I'm not even going to try. I was going to try to tackle some statistics, but I'm not going to try to offhand because I am terrible with numbers. But they did bring it up during the debates because Obama did this stuff too. This happened under Obama. This is not new. The focus on it is. Just like the racism in this country, the problems in this country with racism and all of that is not new. It just has a magnifying glass on it because they are trying to terrify you and they are doing a fantastic job. But as I've been talking, I've been scrolling through CNN, nothing on Bernie Sanders. Nothing. Not a single. Oh my God, they're covering that little. You may have saw this on Facebook. In Melania's hometown, Melania Trump's hometown, they carved this little wooden statue of her, and it's ridiculous. It looks like a cartoon drawing of Melania, and it's actually being covered on CNN's front page. But nothing on Sanders, complete media silence on Sanders, not a single story on Bernie. Wait. There is one in the blurbs. Let's see what it is. Bernie Sanders accuses Biden of misinformation in pitched battle over Medicare for all. All right. Have to actually read that article to see if they present our side of Medicare for all and they show why Biden is bullshitting people because Biden is bullshitting people. It's not impossible. It's done all over the world. We're the last to the party on this. It's just impossible in the greed-driven system that we currently live in. But that's what needs to come to an end. That's what these shills, these establishment shills don't understand. Well, they understand it. They just don't care because they represent the 1%. USA Today or USA Today. Some of your fans of the Cleveland show know why I'm calling it that. But USA Today looks like they're a little more fair anyway. I've seen at least 2 Bernie stories. I haven't been to USA Today in about a month. A lot of AOC. She gets a lot of coverage across all platforms. I noticed that very heavy when I was doing 10 sites a day. She's everywhere. And they have a complete media silence on Bernie's message. So I'm a suspicious guy, but it raises red flags for me when they let this other progressive, AOC, have so much coverage and then silence Bernie. I don't understand that. Bernie's very popular right now, very famous, most well-known politician in the country. They're not covering him. We're in an election. He's the front runner. He's crushing it. They're not covering it. You have to wonder why. But they're covering AOC endlessly, wall to wall. Why does she get so much exposure and Bernie doesn't? Is that weird to anybody but me? Am I just the weird tinfoil hat conspiracy guy? That seems odd to me. But anyways, let's see what USA Today has to say about politics in this country right now. Who you're not seeing at all anymore at all is Cory Booker. I don't see him mentioned at all. There's a Beto story. I haven't seen a Beto story in forever. 2 Beto stories on USA Today. Does Beto own stock in USA Today? There's another story on the squad. Trump to Congresswoman, go back where they came from. Did he say that? I don't follow Trump closely on Twitter. I should. He's funny, but he's also ignorant. Did he really say that? Did he tweet that out? But that's basically know your enemy for the day. I used to focus heavier. I used to really go through, like I said, I used to go through 10 sites each day and try to find stuff to talk about. And what I found is that it's very repetitive, that the news, the mainstream corporate owned media doesn't put out very much new content. And it's weaponized propaganda. It bums you out to watch it and to read it. It's designed to. It's programming. It's called programming for a reason. It's a weapon. But I cover mainstream media and anything I think we'll be dealing with right here, so you don't have to expose yourself to it. And it needs to die, and we got to kill it. And the only thing that kills it is to take views away from it. It needs views and clicks and all that to survive. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's Daily Burn. That was all of our segments of the show today. Thank you guys so much for coming. We do this every day. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode. I was way off center during that whole show. I was reading and then also going through web pages. I couldn't see. I was way off center. I hope that didn't bother anybody. It's probably something that only I noticed. But we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for sharing and commenting if you participated in the show. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Keep fighting and we'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Daily Burn.